of a championship main event. This is more like a lineup in the super high roller, headlined by some of the biggest names in the game. John Juanda, winner of the 2015 Barcelona main event. Charlie Carroll, Christoph Vogelsang, Jack Salter, runner-up here in Monte Carlo back in 2014. Igor Kurganov, the newest member of Team Pro. Peter Eichhardt, a player who went deep in the Barcelona main event the year that John Juanda won it. And of course, one of the early faces from those early years of the EPT. Plus Preben Stocken, who's also played on the tour for a few years.
Stocken blocking. Some of the biggest names in poker, and Jack Salter.
So seven-handed on the main feature table for the start of the play. We also have a secondary feature table, which we'll introduce you to a bit later on. That's the most important thing to say here, Joe. I think people have been used to us just being a live stream for the last couple of years, and maybe they've seen the final table on TV. We are back, and it's the first time we've done it since Monte Carlo in 2015. Multi-day tournament coverage for our highlight shows. So we are going to be producing TV shows from today, and that means the return of that secondary feature table.
I mean, when you watch a show on Netflix, you don't just watch the season finale, right? You got a story. You grow to love the people or hate them. Who knows what's going to happen this week? Now, we're used to that with the live coverage, but we are back to telling the whole story from beginning to end on television.
So that means the action you see today, okay, some of those big hands, you might not know the whole cards because we are 100% live. We are whole cards down for today. But later in the year, when those highlight shows appear on TV channels around the world, when they appear on PokerStars.tv and the PokerStars YouTube channel, you will get to see those whole cards.
I mean, it was all fun and games, right? The last couple of stops, knowing it would never air on TV, so we got to speculate as much as we want. We knew we'd never be wrong, and now, well, we're going to find out.
Absolutely. So the players taking their seats, unbagging their chips. Talking of TV, the last 2 days, while the super high roller events have been played here in Monte Carlo, we have been staging a special cash game series, also coming to TV soon.
I'm sorry, I wanted to listen to you talk about cash games, but that hair, though.
Yes, the Afghan hound lookalike that is Igor Kurganov. He actually played in the cash game at the same table as Charlie Carroll, and those two guys are sharing a feature table here in the main event.
I really don't care for the Jesus comparisons every time somebody has long hair and a little bit of facial hair, but come on. That guy walked on water to get here.
I'm going to say rah-rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen.
Let's do that. Let's do that. That's better.
So, all the time, none.
So yeah, really enjoyed filming that cash game over the last 2 days, and I appreciate there was no stream and you guys are going to have to wait for it, but trust me, it will be worth the wait. Some great characters, some great poker, and an unbelievable hand involving Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. I guess
We
welcome to the gang, Kevin Hart also. Plenty of noise being made about that guy. Involvement now with our little poker site.
So Igor Kurganov, the first time we really got to know this guy was in 2012 here in Monte Carlo when he won the high roller. I believe he was heads up against Daniel Negreanu.
He was the bad guy. He was like the guy with the evil-sounding Russian name that beat my friend Daniel, beat all of our friend Daniel.
And since then, he's had a lot of success in the high rollers and super high rollers here. Made the final table of the super high roller 3 years in a row.
No, I really like him better than Daniel, honestly.
If you know someone who wants to fly right now,
Find someone.
There is Charlie Carroll. Won the high roller in Monte Carlo a couple of years back for 1.1 million euros.
Charlie Carroll loves water, loves to hydrate.
One thing that certainly works, if it's not Monaco, is Vegas.
Yeah.
Every day this kid drinking water, unbelievable.
Oh yeah. This is not safe. Somebody might steal it. Oh, okay.
I thought Steve O'Dwyer had
on the small table there.
John Juanda, main event champion in Barcelona back in 2015. Obviously, a lot of other tournament results on his CV.
I feel like that was the last time that we did TV coverage of Barcelona 2015. Is that accurate?
There's also an easy solution.
No, you may remember the final table last year. There was quite an epic last hand involving a Polish kid.
Right.
Just like the table, right?
I mean the multi-day coverage.
We just did the final table in Barcelona.
Okay, well,
You know at the start when I said it's the first time we've done it since Monte Carlo 2015?
right.
That.
I was close.
I had a problem with the tooth. It also would have worked to just cut it out.
Right.
Just like, that would have been the cheapest solution.
I'm sure I would love
Cutting
it.
certain part of our body too would be cheap.
Well, I hope Jack Salter's injury isn't a result of
Yeah, no more problem.
some makeup.
You can even make money. That's how cheap it is.
Save money.
If it makes you sleepy, you
So
probably
here are players entering the room before the start of play today. Daniel Negreanu bringing a relatively short stack to our secondary feature table.
I haven't looked into that too much yet. Poker is
Jason
going to
Mercier
also-
and pregnant bride,
Countries like India,
Natasha.
some of the really poor
All
countries,
three of them, huh?
like somebody need like an
Ola
organ
Shemian, dressed for the occasion,
donor,
as ever.
transfer, they cannot find it, you know, then they just go to India and get somebody to kill
Faraz
somebody.
Jaka sharing a
Get the
table today
body part.
with King Dan Smith. He's still my beating heart, it's Gail Bauman.
One and only.
The man with the shortest commute, Patrick Antonius, lives here in Monte Carlo. He's got Benjamin Pollock and Randy Liu at his table.
Randy!
Is she FaceTiming or vlogging?
I think she's just smiling at herself. You're the best.
Oh, she's FaceTiming her mum. And there is Maria Ho, who was working with us on the cash game coverage the last 2 days, now playing the main event, again, nursing quite a short stack at the start of the day.
Yeah, she said that she registered late last night after you guys were done filming, bagged 16 big blinds.
So a reminder of the state of things today. We know that there are at least 716 total entrants. There may be more as there are some people buying in late at the start of day two. A field of around 330 returning for day two, 6 levels of poker to be played. Day two, we play 75-minute levels. So 2 levels break, 2 levels break, 2 levels done for the day. And it could be that we see the bubble hit and maybe the bubble burst during the last level of the day. So strap yourselves in, we're going to get the action started, going to get cards in the air. Here's the TD, Thomas Lamache.
Good morning and welcome all players back to day 2 of our PokerStars Championship main event. So I want to welcome all players back. Congratulations to reach day number 2. I just want to give you very fast information for day 2. The first one, we play 6 levels of 75 minutes, so it's kind of the shortest day of the main event. So we finished around 8:30. The next level, we have a running ante of 100, blinds of 500, 1000. Dealer button is on position number 1. I wish you the best of luck, and dealer shuffle up and deal.
Let's get the party started with our star-studded feature table. Day 1 of our coverage of the PokerStars Championship Monte Carlo main event.
I think it's called second chance, yeah. 25K second chance. Because it starts at a time when people have busted.
Has the button been determined?
Yes.
When's the next 25K?
Tomorrow.
At what time? Yeah.
It's a single day.
So like 12:30.
I would assume.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's 25K is half an hour level.
Thank you.
No, half an hour. And then the day after tomorrow,
Maybe even
there's
1 hour.
like the big 25K,
1 hour
hour level, 1 million guaranteed.
Okay.
And then the day after that at 6 p.m.
1 million first prize guarantee?
Yeah.
That's a bit better even than 1 million.
6 p.m. 6
Yeah.
p.m. is like a
Sorry, yeah.
half an hour level also.
Is that right?
The one that starts at 6 p.m.
No, that's like half an hour
Is
again.
that what this is?
But 2
I
days
assume so, yeah.
because it starts at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Do we have a shot clock on this one?
We are finding that
No.
Oh no, no shortcut for this.
we could
one.
make a
Oh,
free
yeah,
flop
this
one.
is
We'll
the
play as if there is a shot.
Free flop we can play with.
great idea. I think he's used to the
It's
short
an
clock.
honorary shot clock tournament.
It takes me longer to look at the cards though than actually.
It's a gentleman agreement. Shot clock.
501? 2500.
EV-wise, it's probably in our interest to play this and go to another table. Yeah,
Possibly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it
I don't
is.
know, man. I'm pretty
no.
confident.
Let's see how much you push those.
There's
when-
there.
curious how strongly you'll push those 20 bucks.
No, I mean, to get to another table where you have a bigger edge.
You do have me to your left, so I think, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take things slow.
TV table play, John?
Looks like Igor is setting the pace with a 2.5x raise.
Wait, television cameras are off, right?
Can I get it back? Let's try a
This was
45.
somehow like 100k buy and I had 100 myself, I would tank every hand, to be honest.
3-bet from
Yeah,
Juanda,
I mean,
called
like,
by Igor.
I'm not going to now.
In theory, even if you
Consider that a new
if you
pace.
think you have like
Kurganov.
10% bigger edge than the average player, it's probably still good for you to play few hands and not any hands.
You can just pretend you have a stroke or can't handle the cameras or something.
And that was a significant portion of Juanda's stack to 3-bet pre-flop. Before all the questions start rolling in, John Juanda reps Indonesia. That's the flag you see
What
there.
are you guys complaining about then? It's a great table.
The honorary shot clock has been abandoned, apparently. Its initiator.
He's got 3 time banks.
There was a shot clock in the super high roller.
Indeed.
Banks yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. 18 people left.
And you Vogel saying?
Yeah, I was also quite a slow player. I avoided short clocks for a bit, and then when I played them, I've even already used it.
Oh, I use them all every time, pretty much.
All right, well,
Well,
Juanda's got less than a pot-sized bet left behind.
Obviously, I'm sometimes I want to use one, but it's worth saving it early on.
Sorry, Juanda's got fewer than a pot-sized bet left behind. I always screw that one up.
All in.
I have to call you, John.
Oh, shit. Got a 7.
No, I have this.
Juanda all in and at risk.
Ace.
King Queen against Queen 5.
Ace 7.
Ace of diamonds. Give it to him. It's fine.
John Juanda
5
thought
and
he was
10.
3-betting a loose button raise. He
always
was
comes
not.
as a 7, though. I don't know. You know.
Drawing to a
Ace
chop.
7.
Queen.
Always,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Professional poker players, ladies and gentlemen. They know
Yeah.
When did you like your hand, Igor?
GG.
Thank you.
I don't like TV table.
Evidently. See you, John.
See you.
First hand of the day and we lose
I'll
John
try even
Juanda.
harder though on the other thing now.
Yeah, now you have to. You
Oh,
owe it to
no, I
me.
really. Now I feel like I owe you.
He didn't have trips.
Hmm?
Don't forget your...
Yeah.
John Juanda is John Naganda.
One hand.
Gon Juanda probably would have been better there.
Yeah, bring on Steve.
This is a good collective effort to try and make the table a bit easier.
Yeah.
I like it.
And you
So we should-
contributed 1 ante, or?
We should,
I'm just here for you
we
guys.
should high five Igor for doing that.
What's a pretty strong hand? 10-9? 8-9? Or Vogelsang led the turn.
Vogelsang folds river and the pot goes to Preben Stocken.
You stack those chips at a right angle, buddy.
Good fold, votes.
I think so.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's a good fold, too. No way of backing that up.
Stocken up to 67,400.
Votes.
67
Yeah,
big
I'm
blind
trying to make
stack. Igor Kurganov, the table
My
chip
phone
leader with
sometimes just
122 bigs.
Because I need to something shorter.
Does Vogelsang have any like cool kooky meaning?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Vogel means bird, and sang is the past tense of sing, like so, bird song kind of.
Bird sang.
Bird sense. One? That's why he's just bird in my phone.
Yeah,
That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Well, that means I just call you Bird.
Christoph Tweeter.
To call you in school a lot.
Really? Are we talking with
Oh,
like
now I wanna.
with like happy
Refer to
connotations?
you as Vogel. I wouldn't try and address you as it.
In German, we call each other by your surname quite a lot, like as a nickname. So people always called me Vogel. No one ever called me Christoph.
The Bird.
So we move on to the third hand of the day, and
So it was also meant nicely when they were saying full ball?
I don't know. Been there, my friend.
And just to address Xavi's question quickly, he notices the whole cards cams again on the TV table. That's because this is
Can
now
you let me know if I expose at any time?
a TV table, Xavi, not just a live stream table. Got to get those cool shots for the shows.
Cool shots.
Holding. What are you doing?
No cards though, that's good.
Hashtag PokerStars TV if you want to get in touch. So stock and open to 2,500. Icar called on the button. And Jack Salter is in from the big blind. We're three-handed on this queen, queen, 4 flop. 2 hearts out there.
Good call.
Jack has checked.
1 player, 2 players? 2 players we're getting. Negrani, I know Dwyer. Who would have thought?
No.
I'm
That was
sure.
a cool experience overall, Vogue.
Good. I really liked school. I liked studying in general. I think it was.
I think you crushed it.
Yeah, I was a good student, I would say.
Good question, Charlie Carroll.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
Studying.
What were you going to do if you didn't poker?
I still don't really know, but I studied business economics, and then my master was risk and finance. So, but maybe something entrepreneurial. Quite a lot of my friends in Berlin are working in startups from my undergraduate university. So.
Following the money.
Did they work as a team partially as well, or are they mostly separate?
Well, they work in teams, but not
What I
with,
mean is with then the
not
same
with.
people, no?
I mean, maybe like they network a little bit, and we always go on vacation together. Like when it's like crisis tension days, they like for a few days. It was the Queen of Diamonds, which I saw.
Straighty flushy paired board, Salter shows a winner.
I didn't even show the suit. Queen, I was like,
No, I didn't see anything, of course. But yeah, no, they're not working together as a team.
hey.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi.
Got 2 new players coming to the
A little
table.
bit, I guess, yeah. I think it probably helps you when you're running badly to think about it in an academic way and to just think, okay, there's a chance of like 15% that
we do have to
this
RFI
happens
and then
if I
show the
have
camera,
that
right?
and that win rate.
Okay,
What I
Yeah,
also
I don't
find
know.
like
In that order,
yeah, exactly. Like
And it helps
it's
you-
pretty helpful to go the other way about. If I played 10,000 hands, then this bad thing is supposed to happen, basically.
Yeah.
Like on average, I will get 1 terrible thing and 3 bad
we
things
need
happen to me.
to. Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Well, just if you look at any graph of like playing 10,000 hands, if you're doing well, or if you're looking at anyone who's played 100 tournaments, bad things are supposed to happen to you. Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
you're not supposed to win 80-20s 4 times a win, 1 time a loss. 4 times a win, 1 time a loss.
Whenever Igor talks, I feel like a 19-year-old co-ed in like a
Kinda like the
philosophy
thing when
class
humans
that's
try
way
to
too smart for
generate
me.
random
Like I have no
numbers,
idea what
but
he's
they
saying,
actually
but it
don't
makes me
go
feel
very
weird on
random.
the inside, like
But, like,
strangely
the sequences
aroused.
are usually like 1 0 1 0 1 1 0
Yeah.
instead of like 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 0.
Yeah.
Which is totally bound to happen as well.
So the 2 new players at the table are Francesco Favia
brains are
and
not used to
Nicola
thinking in large numbers.
Ganselmo.
Yeah, I guess we kind of just associate randomness with just like disparity.
It's not your turn. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this thing got me confused. Sorry, guys.
Both players Italian.
High off painkillers, Jack.
For the camera? Yeah.
What got you confused, Jack?
I don't know, this whole camera deal. I was trying to look early to not waste my time.
It's like, do we go
Come
left
on,
to
man.
right, right to left?
Turn,
There's a
bro.
camera, I
Get a
don't know what's
grip.
going on.
Get a grip.
It's okay, it's okay.
It's not like Jack hasn't been here before. I'm sure many of our long-time viewers remember that epic heads-up battle at this very table between Jack Salter and Antonio Bonanno.
He's probably logged more time at this table than literally anyone else other than Antonio Bonanno. Bonanno.
Can't really move it that much now, though. And then can't do that very well.
You don't want to move the other one either, because then you just have one really huge arm. The other one's just going to be limp and super tiny. You don't want to be off balance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm not. My arm's not too huge, though. I should be alright. But yeah, the muscle instantly, your arm just withers within like a week. It's just nothing there. Like, it's crazy.
Vogelsang wins that pot with a pre-flop 3-bet.
Any chance we're going to get to play any poker while we're here?
Yeah, of course, we've got our free rolls every day, and of course, later on in the stream, we'll tell you the password for today's PokerStars TV free roll. But this event also sees the return of the bounty bonus events.
Yes.
Details on that coming up very shortly. Your chance to play against me, Joe, and the other commentator, Matt Broughton.
Guys, I'm going to need some more money for rebuys because I'm broke. Totally out money in my account. So, gonna need a couple of dollars.
So we're roughly 20 minutes into play. Tournament clock still showing 329 remaining from a starting field of 716. Later on today, we should get confirmed numbers. We'll get a confirmed prize pool and confirmed payouts. And a decent chance that during the last level of the day, we hit the bubble and potentially make the money here on day 2 of this main event. So one of the new players at the table involved in action here. Kurgel's opened under the gun +1 to 2,300. Francesco Favia has called out of the hijack.
It looks like Jack Salter is getting involved.
Christoph, what was the hands when you called 15?
When
Ace of Hearts on the river. He bet 15. Yeah.
Is he wearing himself on his shirt?
10, 9, 8.
You call him, right?
No, I folded.
Nicola D'Anselmo folds the big blind. We go 3-way to the flop.
Ooh.
It's straighty, it's flushy. King, queen, 10 of spades.
Royalizing.
No c-bet from Kurgels. Action checked to one of the 2 new Italian players at the table, Francesco Favia. He makes it 3,500, just over 1/3 of what's in the middle already.
Really super wet board. Betting into 2 opponents. Pre-flop raise. It looks strong to me.
Just realized, Joe, that with his left arm in a sling, Jack Salter can't do the triangle thing.
You'll all be very pleased to hear that. Salter raising.
11,300.
It's your stack, please. Thank you.
Kurgels has them both covered.
You know, I play poker all the time one-handed, but for a much different reason. Online, at least. Multiple screens open.
So Igor has folded. Action back on Francesco.
Do we see the whole cards in the stream? Do you know? No. I guess we'll have to tell each other our hands then, as you suggested.
This is going to hit Salter pretty regularly. He also knows that This is a scary board for a lot of hands, so if Salter has some kind of blocker, he can make this raise. And it looks like he is not going to get a fold.
So we're going heads up to the turn. Nearly 32K in the middle, and it's a 4th spade on the turn, the 8 of spades.
Jack's supposed to bet again here. If he's got a complete air ball, maybe he thinks better of it. One of the hands that Favia would bet call with would obviously be a big ace, but excuse me, the ace of spades.
Well, the action has gone check, check, taking us to the river, which is the jack of diamonds.
In case you really wanted to make sure, you only needed 1 card to play. 4 card straight, 4 card flush.
Xavi, I think we answered your question. The whole card cameras are there because of the TV shows, so we can see their cards on TV.
For cool shots.
Favia bets 13,000 on the river.
Smallish bet. I think he's going to have it here most of the time. I think Jack's going to have to give this a little tanky tank and then a little foley fold. Bloop, bloop. Oh.
Hello. Hey.
Started around 100.
Oh, wait, well, no, okay. Well, I mean, let's backpedal here.
I haven't ordered with the vegan quiz. It's too late.
You have royal flush?
Do you have a royal
Ace jack of
flush?
spades?
I don't remember.
Should double check. She might be facing some more action.
Do you have a royal flush? You know, he's losing to something besides a royal, possibly, too. Right? Do you think Jack Salter has Jack 9 of spades?
No. Because then it would be impossible for his opponent to
Right,
have a
but
roll
that's
flush.
why it'd be such a genius question to ask.
Or just the jack of spades? You remember if you had that one? No.
Salter really think he's going to be bluffing in this spot with a bet that size? Maybe. Some people go for really small sizing on their bluffs.
Okay, I'm definitely not gonna raise that shit.
I mean, I give him a lot of credit for thinking about this. I don't know if you have a hand that you can't raise with how you call here.
Because he is thinking of the easy.
It's such a small bet. It seems like such a weak bluff attempt.
More jack.
Speculation what Jack has.
Can I have a black coffee, please? Cafe Americano?
Damn.
Could I get 2 bananas?
If only I had your brain, then I would know what to
I'd like to
do.
order 2, if you're not in a hurry.
I'm basically thinking, does he have it? Does he not have it? That's my thought process here.
Okay, well, if he's that deep.
I feel like,
So we don't know too much about Francesco Favia. Total live earnings of just shy of $76,000.
Well, he does. He makes a little tiny bet on the end with the jack of spades, and it is good enough
Yeah, Jack Salter made the call. Among Francesco Favia's results, by the way, 36th place in the 1K National Championship here in Monte Carlo this year, part of this festival.
It'll be more interesting with Jack 9 of spades versus ace.
He's enjoying Jack Salter's chips with a side of Favia
Depending on which
beans.
end of it.
I reckon that exact thought went through everyone's head at some point during the hand.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wasn't even here the whole time, and I still, the little time I had,
You figured that one out.
my mind still made it happen. That goes to say how much control we have over our minds.
Yeah, for sure. We're just little mammals that want to see some action.
This one? You want to change it? No. It's the same one. No?
Change now?
If he raises here, you're going all in, right?
Dodge the ace-9 of spades and
I'll take that
see
one.
what happens.
Well, the ace-7 of spades is only possible, right? Like if you have Jack 9, the 8 was out there, so ace-7, ace-6.
You were missing that one, weren't you?
No, I'm saying if he turns his hand into a bluff on the river, you just got to dodge the ace-9 of spades, confuse snap call, and then,
right, yeah.
and then wait it out.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Agent 3154 on Twitch says, man, the commentator stole my Favia beans and a bottle of Chianti joke. I don't even have Twitch open. How could I have stolen your joke? I'm not even reading Twitch.
I think I feel generous today.
Yeah. I miss it quite a lot, but I double it a lot.
It's good, it's lucky.
Okay. And I guess I have no choice now.
Well, it's kind of nice that they try with G1 first.
Emma, that's funny. So I need to...
I don't. Yeah, they never try to put one on me. You're doing something right.
A little gratuitous nipple touch there, if you ask me. But
With that kind of
watching
confidence
that guy.
behind me.
No, I got a patch now. Now I can raise.
What's that thing he did that really made that Andrew Black guy mad? Called out that he didn't have a hand?
Yeah. Sean McCarthy wants an update on Victoria Corin Mitchell. How is she doing? Is she on one of the outer tables? Vicky is playing the main event. She did tweet at the start of the day that although the field has been reduced to 329, she does need to make something happen. She does not have a particular deep stack. She says, I need a bit of luck or I'll be out enjoying the fresh air.
That means we all need a little bit of luck. I would love to see Vicky go deep in this. Always interesting.
I mean, obviously, with all of her commitments, Vicky doesn't really have the time to make it to a lot of live events, but she loves playing poker here in Monte Carlo. She came here for the main event last year, and she's back again this year. Eichhart's raise called by Salter, an 8-8-9 2-heart flop.
I mean, somebody's really got to love something, right? If you're going to strap a toddler into a car seat and then a car and then like a shuttle bus and then an airplane and then another car. And I mean, you have to really love it a lot to do all that.
Sorry?
How did Ike manage to bubble again yesterday?
Pocket 10s, call it off or something, right?
You say Ike bubble?
Yeah, he got it in with 70% again.
I think he's bubbled every tournament with a piece of.
Yeah, that's
It's good though, you're on the right. You're like, oh, it's looking good, it's looking good.
Eichhart continuing for smaller than his pre-flop raise.
He can deal with it.
Yeah, a real roller coaster usually gets you back up again.
Didn't he buy Mateus?
Did he?
Because we didn't have cash, we couldn't buy him, and I think then Ike
sniped him.
Got him.
Nice.
I'm not sure,
shit.
but I think so.
Mateus asked me for cash.
Yeah, but he asked us, like, if we had given him the 20K, I mean, we had already said, like, we want to, but we didn't have cash here, and he's UK player, needed cash.
Yeah, of course. God damn it, why was I so slow?
I mean,
Totally forgot about him.
the 100K also depleted our stars accounts.
Icart wins that part, and yes, Adrian Mateos, who won the main event here in Monte Carlo 2 years ago, won the 50K single-day high roller yesterday.
So I don't think it was too bad of a day for him.
Kenny let him have one, huh?
Can you believe that Bryn Kenny won another super high roller?
He's such a sicko.
Why?
So I can look with one hand.
So you can do what?
Look with one hand, but...
Oh, so you can protect your cards? I'm...
You down with that?
Yeah, I'll try to help you with that, cause.
Thanks. Yeah, it would have been a bit weird otherwise.
Just don't sign on to help him with everything he needs two hands for the rest of the day.
I like the accusatory. Why?
Read the fine print.
Yeah, that's actually a really reasonable response. Don't worry about it.
I first looked at his chips before I asked why, actually.
With that one-hand peel, we're going to get some cool shots.
Needed better explanation than his chips.
Because if anything, I'd say Jack Salter acted too fast before, but now he's got the one hand to slow him down a little bit.
I know, I live there.
I mean, now the Americans will also be skeptics. Actually, already are.
Now, come on, Joe, don't exaggerate. During that heads-up battle between Salt and Buonanno, we were playing at least 7 hands per hour.
Pretty much everyone is. I'm not a TV player, it seems. Folding this hand.
I'm trying really hard to not show you, so I won't show. I'll be a pro.
Raise and take it for the runner-up from 3 years ago, Jack Salter from the UK. So we did mention that we have some poker for you guys to play while you're watching the action from here in Monte Carlo. Extra free rolls every day of our main event coverage, running from today through to and including Friday. At around 4 o'clock this afternoon, Central European Summer Time, the PokerStars TV Bounty Bonus. It's 6 max zoom, $500 guaranteed, $150 bounties. This is in addition to the guaranteed prize money on myself, Joe, and Matt. Rebuys and add-ons available for $1.10. Crucial detail, you can't claim the bounties until it becomes a freeze-out. Claim your free tickets via PokerSchool Online. Just log into your PSO account, register as a new member. You'll get those 5 tickets. You can register for the games and then use those rebuys and add-ons to get to the second stage, the freeze-out period, and then the bounties come into play. $150 per commentator, and because it's Zoom, Joe, there's a very good chance that you'll come up against us at some point.
Correct, and if you're wondering if having a $150 bounty on your head makes it any less fun to play, the answer is yes. It sucks.
Because some people don't get the memo that the bounty doesn't come into play until it's a freeze-out, so none of your all-ins will ever get through at any point in this tournament.
That part actually tickles me because I have virtually unlimited dull hairs to rebuy, but after the rebuy, it's incredibly frustrating.
Under the gun raise from Francesco Favia, who has become the biggest stack at the table, by the way, 127 big blinds for the Italian.
After some consideration, you still fold that hand, then I also have to fold.
Exactly, right?
Like, I was already unsure, but if you're also
by proxy.
All the others also folded.
I like doing that in like a three-way pot. If there's like on a river, if someone's just like betting and just like someone else tanks for 3 minutes and folds, you're like, well, I'm not calling.
He must have very easy.
Yeah, he probably had a really good thought process, right?
Course, yeah.
I never think
I was
3
just
minutes.
like
Jesus.
waiting there.
How about that?
Can I order something as well?
9.
So Icart defended his big blind. We have a 9-7-6 flop. Went check, check, and we get the Queen of Spades on the turn.
That's fine. Thank you.
I'll take, excuse me.
That's good. Can I get a Diet Coke and a cappuccino? Diet Coke.
But in separate glasses, please. Don't make that mistake again.
For me, cafe au lait, please.
If you're not specific with them here, you say Diet Coke and a cappuccino, they'll bring it to you in 1 cup. Very literal people, the Monegasque.
Delayed c-bet from Favia of 2,200.
Cafe latte, you're like, oh, cafe au lait.
What's that?
Is there a difference? French. One French and one Italian, that's all, I guess.
Okay.
Although I guess latte is always foamy normally. But whenever I say one, they say the other, and then whenever I try and say the other, they say the other. Tough spot.
You gotta work on your French.
Thanks.
Yeah, the English education system really tried for us, but it's just not going to get us anywhere. How many years did you learn French for?
11 to 16.
Ons?
Okay, so it's not too bad. I'd say the average English student from when I was in school probably learned it for like 8 years, maybe.
But they don't know anything, right?
And
nothing.
No.
And just like a bit of context, I remember just like coming into a year 10 or 11 class, and I think we were either top or second set. Yeah, so 15 years old. And the teacher asking us, comment t'appelles-tu? And half the class had no idea what it meant.
Oh, yeah.
So embarrassing.
You're on the stream, bro. Your French is going to get berated.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. English education system, what are you going to do?
Yeah, blame the government, man. It's not our fault. It's not like we're lazy.
So just a quick
And
reminder
like
is
Chinese and then like Spanish and then a lot of shit and then maybe French.
25 on the condition that Igor folds.
we follow the action here at the feature table. That the guys at the PokerStarsblog.com are following all the action on the outer tables, taking an overview of the tournament. They report that Timothy Adams, Nananoko, Randy Liu,
There's just nothing better to learn a language than having a partner from them.
Byron Kavman and Luke Schwartz and Darius Sammartino are all amongst players who bought in at the start of day two.
Work on the love life.
It's a match.
I'm sure people would learn, like, just, okay, this year our school is partnering with that school.
This male school.
I like hearing about their school days.
They don't know what they want anyway when you're 13, like, you're just happy.
So I think we've now had just shy of 730 entrants in this main
I guess
event.
like languages do become probably a little bit less important due to technology because it's possible to translate things, and so
already it's close, but
Bubblefish is coming.
I think they were more important in the past, I guess.
Doesn't that make it more
It might
important?
be like depends on how it's going to be integrated. Right? Like if you have lens that sees you mouthing it and then I hear it, but maybe you have these moments like a bit more technology free. I would expect that for the next like 10 years, 15 years, you will have benefits from having other languages.
Yeah.
Are you saying that we won't afterwards?
I'm saying that maybe just because Google Translate is right now already really strong, right? Like I can just like use my phone and play it.
Thank you very much.
And if you have it just integrated in an AR system constantly.
They're developing something that you put like a microphone in here and it's
and then all the other languages are like slang, you know?
But we're still impeded by the human mind, right? Like there are lots of huge differences between languages, and the subtleties are going to be lost even if we use AI because our minds just can't comprehend.
I agree with Charlie. Unless Igor says something different, then I agree with Igor.
Lost anyway, no. Like how many subtleties do humans figure out and are not lost in translation versus the AI wouldn't? Maybe the AI would also figure it out.
But I mean, if one were to speak two fluent languages, as opposed to just having a perfect translator, I feel like then the nuance would be maintained.
Like the word nuance, for
example. I haven't read about...
Not that I'm the one in this conversation that speaks multiple languages, but...
I haven't finished. Have you read the Neuralink article by Wait But Why? You know Wait But Why?
Yeah.
That's similar. It's, have you heard of it? The new venture by Elon Musk. It's I don't know exactly what it is, but it's basically an extension of the brain.
Yeah,
like a few, basically like Nobel Prize worthy breakthroughs away. But they assume that maybe like in 10 years, like they're laying the groundworks right now to.
Chachi Komas on
the
Twitch
brain or the
says,
internet
stop
into
this
something
nerd
like that,
talk.
and then
Yeah. It's interesting.
it's hard to imagine where the world.
Oi,
will be.
talk more about
50 years
football.
gonna be really interesting.
Yeah. Next 5.
Well, yeah. That too, but 50 will be even more. I guess we're not gonna.
today, not able to understand what happens in 50 years.
Yeah.
If people talk to me communicating directly with my brain, I'd be in jail.
I hope to be the type of person who then still keeps up to date with current changes and not like marvels in the past. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
used to be all simpler.
Yeah, I don't want to be the version of people now going, oh, the internet, we never had that back in my day. I don't really want to learn it. But like, what's the difference between our generation and their generation? I assume that is going to happen to a decent amount of us.
Yeah, of course.
Hygiene.
Not to you though.
Yeah,
You got this.
I don't know. I do kind of wish for the cave sometimes. Get in it.
But I always wish for the cave, but it would only take a couple of days, I reckon, until I like this.
Open from stock
Learning
and 3-bet
languages
from
have a
Fabia.
benefit,
Called.
not
7
just
deuce
learning
deuce on the
language,
flop.
speaking I mean, your brain develops when you learn something new. So
Right,
especially
but
language.
maybe there's more value from learning something else because it's quite a bit of time. Like I learned French and Spanish, and it's a lot of time that you have to put in for like a vocabulary of like 1,000 words to be able to do this much. Whereas, for example, I started learning Python, and like with programming languages, I know like 40 like operators and words, etc., and I can do games. Like it's the opposite. Like after a few minutes of learning a couple of things, you get like these many options already to use it. So it seems like an ineffective process a little bit in comparison.
I like how your quantity amount for something large was games. I can do games and games and games.
Yeah, but how are you going to write the instructions for those games, Igor? In
They are
what
fairly
language?
Yeah. So can you program now, or are you just learning to?
No, I'm learning. I mean,
would you recommend?
Do you want to learn it?
Yeah, it's
a
really
peep
fun.
into
Like
what
the reward cycle is very short. Like, that's what like was
that's what
great
makes it
about
addictive,
it.
I guess, yeah.
Like I read something for 3 minutes, and like I instantly had to then write a little bit. And like, oh, it works. 10 more minutes.
Oh, thank you, sir.
That was nice. And it's not the same with learning a language. You're sitting there.
I never thought I'd say this,
It's
but
really
let's
the
focus on the
opposite.
poker.
Yeah, you learn it
Like
for
you
3
want one
years and then
phrase.
go to France, and you're just like, what have I done?
Or you're like, oh, teach me that one Romanian phrase. And you're like, Vreau să miru curu, or whatever. Oh, and then you're trying.
Now let's wait for
5
that one to
minutes.
come up in real life. And
And then you were taught wrongly as well, and it just like
I guess
doesn't
like languages, you just have to learn them by heart, which you can do when you're like young as a baby. And
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
like how naturally we were made, right? When we were really young, we are able to pick up a language quickly. But computers are very logical. They are devised by humans, and they're made in a way so that we
I
can
actually know
do
this
things
word that
we can learn
master.
computers well
works in
later.
every
Languages,
language.
not so much. Yeah.
It goes like this.
Yeah, that's when people are like, oh, you speak 3 languages? I have to do nothing for it. Like I born in Russia, grew up in Germany, and now I'm speaking with an English girl. I have to do exactly nothing. No, speak 3 languages.
Speaking with an English girl.
Yeah.
3 diamonds on the
years did you
flop,
live in
paired
Russia?
board.
4.
4. Okay.
And a couple of days, a couple of weeks ago.
Fabia, 3-bet pre-flop, bet flop,
I'm
bet
liking this
turn.
post-intellectual opinion of languages. It makes me feel a lot less stagnated from not being able to learn another one.
Where did you live in Russia?
I was born in St. Petersburg.
Oh yeah, I lived there.
You lived there?
Yeah, 3 years.
Oh, wow. Late mover?
No, I was there in '93 to '96.
Business-wise? or-
I was casino manager.
Oh, okay.
Small casino.
Yeah, they closed down in like 2008 or 9 on a lot, right?
Yeah, but everything I think is. So now they open
Now
up.
you're in another job? Or?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume so, right? Or otherwise we don't speak about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moved to Sochi now, I guess.
There we
Yeah.
They're
go.
trying other zones as well?
He's
Yeah, they
fired
have
on every street,
Kaliningrad.
and Stocken is calling.
It's an all-in. Ace King against a full house.
Ay-ya.
He was winning the whole way.
How did he get so lucky? Oh, no, yeah.
There were multiple ways. You could have also had to do so.
Yeah, thank you.
6s were good regardless.
Could hit my shit.
4 outs. Not 2.
36, 500.
What an odd move for an Italian player.
So Kaliningrad is also a...
Yeah, I think they were going to have 5.
You don't normally hear about them
because it's
blasting off like that.
A shitty town, but beautiful. Beautiful environment.
Yeah.
What kind of, how do I say it? It's on
Kaliningrad
the beach.
it is?
Yeah, it's very beautiful on the beach, but the whole city is like just worn down. They have so much problems. So they thought like pouring in money, if they could build like a casino resort.
Yeah, usually when you build a casino resort,
good for the region.
Money moves.
Then Sochi, and then
What a great river, though, right? Like you're just like
somewhere.
You can't be loving it, and then you're like, wait a second, I do love it.
So let's take a look at the chip counts at the feature table. Previn Stocken, after doubling up there, is the big stack. Igor Kurganov second in chips. Charlie Carroll, the shortest stack, but still hovering around the 50 big blind mark.
It's nice that it's finally
And still 27 minutes to play at the 500, 1,000 blind level.
Put up to it. But as it happens to be, on the 20th of May, there will be an event in Sochi, PokerStars Championships.
Is it a good structure, well organized?
I think it is very well organized. It might even be the best organized.
Russian dealers.
Are you from Russia? Or?
I was born in Russia.
Okay. So you've been there before?
Yeah, I haven't been to Sochi before. I looked at pictures though.
Okay, it looks nice. Or?
It looks very, like, it's again, not organized. If you look at pictures, it's beautiful. Like, it's very mountainous, and it has a beach as well, like a little bit further away. But the countryside is gorgeous.
BVV told me yesterday that it's like the Las Vegas of Russia.
That's what they're, trying to make. I wouldn't
it's
say
almost
that
it's exactly the same.
You know it better, probably.
I've been to Sochi.
Yeah.
I would say it reminds of like an Italian Mediterranean city.
It's small. It's not like built like modern skyscrapers.
Oh right, we're going to Sochi. Never mind.
It's rather just like a beautiful town.
Huh. But is there a lot of degeneracy, or?
Just they moved the casino and poker games in Russia from like just all over the country to 5 zones, and one of those zones is Sochi.
Why did they do that?
The government decided that would be better. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Control, I guess.
They had issue with terrorism in Sochi.
With what?
Terrorism. Terrorist attacks. Stuff. Because they used to have also a football team that used to train in Moscow because it was too dangerous to do it in Sochi. But I don't know if they solved it or...
You're probably thinking of the other Sochi.
Apparently there's Fox News in Russia also.
It's still going to be very safe and terrorist-free.
I think it's the other Sochi. It's like the Bakus, you know. We have
2 Sochis.
That's the past Sochi. We're talking about the current Sochi. No,
A former champ on this tour.
Adrian Mateos has had a number of big scores here in Monte Carlo, including that 50K he won yesterday.
Buenos dias, Adrian.
There is Jeffrey Hakim, who is still chip leader here on day 2. By the way, other former champs still in. Jan Bendik, Maxim Likov, and Sebastian Malitz.
Wow, recent champs.
No. Did you get anything?
No, I didn't. I thought
Jan
so when I
Bendik
read
defending.
it. I don't remember, 20 years ago. And it's like
A Monte Carlo
basically,
title.
well, it's like romantic. He's traveling around in Europe playing on roulette and casinos. Nothing. Doesn't give you anything new.
Can I remind you just? Did you read it in Russian?
No.
Okay, sure.
I know the letters, but I mean I can read, but it take, one word is like slowly. My ex.
Wordlands.
My ex, she's from Sochi actually. I met her in St. Petersburg, and we lived together 20 years. And she writes to me sometimes in Russian letters, and so I understand. But that's like, hi, how are you doing? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know any Russian, James?
Russian word I probably told you before.
Yeah, you did. Wait. No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Probably not suitable, huh?
No, it is.
It is. Okay.
It is.
That's strange.
Let's see if he knows it.
Does Vogues look like the kind of person that's in the back of the class reading all the rude words out of a dictionary?
You just take
He's finding the technical vocabulary.
Just take a cab.
The word I know is Astanovka.
Astanovka. Yeah. That's a standard word. Yeah.
What's it mean?
Make a guess.
Station.
Make a guess.
No.
Bus station.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why would you try and make me guess that?
You came out of that, that would have been snapped. Like, you stayed it down for a bit.
Bus stop or like metro stop.
Yeah, it could be another stop as well.
So obviously the reason for this conversation is the tour
languages,
is heading
not that
to Sochi at the end of
I don't
May.
feel good about myself right now.
Остановитесь. Stop to stop.
5 days of main event coverage here on PokerStars TV.
I remember twice sitting in a car, driving with my parents and my sister, and she was learning Russian in school. And both times the word Astanovka was at the top when I asked her, like, what does it mean?
Meanwhile, this hand is Stocken versus D'Anselmo.
Just that.
Check.
Did you learn French with also the...
To the river.
Parrot. What was his name? Arthur le Perroquet?
No,
And we do get an inside straight potential.
Check.
Try to make it fun.
Looks like we're gonna 10
Yeah, we had a few of those.
and a 9. Two pair. Didn't want to go for it with that 4-card straight out there.
It got everywhere.
20 minutes left on this level, then we'll roll straight into level 10. Blinds will go up to 600, 1200 with a 200 ante. 320 players remaining according to the tournament clock, from a starting field of around 730.
Excuse me?
So the question, I couldn't solve a math problem with pen and paper.
10, right?
The question was actually like,
Oh, okay. Thanks.
if the whole world right now started shuffling cards,
Yep.
Shuffling decks, after
Every person?
in like 1 second, the whole world, every person, 7.5 billion people, and it took us we were very fast at it because we've done it so much, 1 second to shuffle a deck of cards. After how much time would there be a 50% chance that the same deck has been in the same order?
Oh my God.
That's fucking...
And the formula is pretty simple, but you need like I got to the formula, but you need to work with like 52 faculty.
Oh, really?
So like, you
Factorials.
can't just
Yeah, I really
Have
want
it out,
a
really.
pen and paper now, but...
yeah, it didn't work.
It's a big
And
number.
then I couldn't do it with pen and paper, and then I put it into a program, and it worked, but only for like up to 15 faculty. And then I realized that actually, if I had to solve it properly for the question she asked,
Big computer.
I would need pretty much all of human resources.
That's cool.
I needed another solution form, but like the first solution form was valid for like
coffee cup or USB.
What?
No USB.
if there were
coffee
15
cup.
cards in a
No.
deck, basically. For 15 cards in a deck, I had the answers, and 14 and 13 and everything. But it was still fun.
The rail is kinda high as well.
It's really rewarding to like sit there for a few minutes.
Cards?
Did you already decide what
That's
to
the
do
thing.
on
For
the
15
brick
cards,
river?
it took like
On
7
the brick river?
seconds. For 14 cards, how long it would take you?
No, I didn't decide.
Yeah.
You go in the tank.
So we showed you the stacks at the feature table. Here are the stacks in the tournament overall. Jeffrey Hakim came into play as chip leader. He is still tournament boss. Manik Lerza has moved up into second. Stefan Schilhabel's dropped down into third. Gianluca Speranza and Michael Kolkovic are the other two players making up the top 5 First level of the day on day 2. A long way to go in this main event until we crown a champion here in Monte Carlo. 312 remaining now, with 17 minutes and 48 seconds remaining on the level. Back to the main stage. Playing 8-handed here on day 2. A reminder, there are 6 levels to play today. It's the first of 6.
Previn Stocken opens his pot, 2,500.
Action on Dan Salmo on the button.
I really wish that that is not only Nicola D'Anselmo on his own t-shirt, but that the photo was taken as he was arriving today.
That will be so baller.
Pulled up on his Vespa, somebody snapped the photo, has the shirt printed, takes his seat. It's Monaco, you know, people here that could afford something like that to happen. And that's why you can't take a 3-bet from him seriously.
Poker would be so boring.
How about cards that have a screen on them, right?
Cards more.
The physical card. So not computer screens, but you get them, and like it has like a very thin film on it, which just displays you your card.
Changes, yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Then you still have the card thing, but you don't need to shuffle them the whole time.
So you keep your 2 cards all the time, and it just changes, shuffle.
And then dealers would like be there to tell us how to behave correctly.
Is this going to be on the test? That's
just
all
with the
I want to
whistle
know.
instead of with the deck.
Speed up the game.
Will this be on the final?
I wish they had a way of
No,
doing
it's too
Zoom
much
poker
cheating going
live,
on.
where you're like conveyor
Wouldn't there be
belts
more
kind
if
of
it was
thing.
electronic? Someone who was
see
really
that?
In the
good at
future, maybe.
computers.
Yeah, if
was a
they,
guy,
if
he
you did it
put-
like
I
multiple
mean,
layers.
He had a prepared deck of cards. It's kind
Right?
of like
It
there's
could be a
like a
thing.
code on the edge of the
with the
card,
phone.
and he
in the
puts it
phone.
in his phone.
Quite complicated.
Yeah.
Actually not
And the,
fast.
there's a camera in the phone,
But it's
phone
great.
table. So when the dealer shuffles,
That's what Zoom
the
tries
phone
to
reads all the sequence.
I
That's
reckon
like
you can
an
make it
earpiece,
fast.
And somebody's like reading and can
Yeah.
tell him in the
Yeah,
earpiece
no worries.
You need AR
exactly
for
what
it.
cards are out on the
Yeah.
players.
AR. So augmented
Got to find
reality.
people who are
Like,
too
just
rich to
people
import.
are
Much better now. because, I
project.
mean,
You're playing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird with the box.
I mean, I think that would definitely be a better way to do it.
What if your heart was on the outside of your body? How about that?
That.
Maybe we'll talk about that one.
I mean, as long as you have to, if you have to play musical chair type things, it's gonna take longer every
If the
time.
chairs are doing it for you.
Yeah, but it's physical movement. Like you can only that much. Like you don't have that much improvement on that.
But think how long it
Because
takes
you
to-
need to. Like if you start moving a body, you need to accelerate it and decelerate it.
But think
and,
how long
like,
it
you
takes
gotta do
to
that,
play an average
like,
hand. It takes 2 minutes, so even if you manage to get people
How much
to
did
your
you start the
table
hand
within a minute, then you've saved
60.
time.
Well,
60.
around. You get the blue ones behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
How much the race?
I think too much couldn't. One problem is that, like, currently on PokerStars Zoom, for example, they keep track of, the software itself keeps track of evenly distributed blinds, etc.
Yeah.
And you would basically need then someone who tells everyone how to.
You'd need
Which
some
works,
kind of
but-
computer, probably.
Yeah, but you still then need some communication.
Of course you
with
need
the
a
person
computer
who
to
kind of
play on
know where you're
PokerStars.
going.
You don't need communication. You just need
Or
the
a
same
mobile
software that
device.
Stars has
Right.
Zoom.
Right, but you need to know where you go, and
No,
then you
but
need to
the
look it
chair
up.
moves, so it's just in the chair, and you just
Oh,
like.
I think chair moving is not as good as you think.
Yeah, I'm not so up to date on the chair moving technology yet.
I'm sorry, is that going to be on the
Within a few
finals?
seconds, it's really hard, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you can't just get someone from 0 to 20 kilometers per hour, like, without them feeling sick constantly.
Are they talking about live Zoom and the actual physical repercussions of zipping chairs around space and time?
It's been talked about multiple times, and I just don't think
Press the
anyone
sit
has
out
yet
button,
thought
and
of
you
a
can just, like,
practical
zoom
way
up
of
to the
managing
bar
it.
kind of thing. Very cool.
It's stupid, that's why.
So this is a 3-bet pot. Favia opened under the gun. Stocken, 3-bet from the hijack.
That you were having this thought, and I was having a really similar thought about how you can incentivize players to speak in during hands. And like, could you think of any good ways to do that?
Well, I want to run a charity tournament where it probably doesn't work in a charity tournament, but I want to run one where if you don't say a word for an hour, you get a penalty. Basically.
Nah,
that would be like a very easy way.
That's such a loophole of someone just saying, like, after half an hour, just being like, hi. You know?
Yeah, that
One
won't be
beer.
allowed. It's
One beer.
By it's also not allowed. It has to be 2
Isn't
people.
the fact that like you make a rule that you get a penalty after 1 hour kind of weird?
Maybe I'm just saying this is like a bad but like first solution.
Yeah. For charity
we can
tournament,
improve on
it'll
that.
be okay because if people didn't want to talk, they could just not play. But in a normal tournament, some people are really like introverted, or if you're just having a really bad day and you don't feel like socializing, you just. You know,
that's fine.
That's
like,
the problem.
Probably 80% of the time, I like talking with pretty much everyone, but then occasionally I just, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, so
well, then 20% of the time you will get a penalty. That's fine.
that unsociable penalty, yeah. Headphones on and ignore it, they just take your chips.
When you get having social anxiety, Jack.
Another thing would be something like extra chips for.
Or extra time bank chips.
Yeah, something.
Because I always don't mind if someone's tanking if they're also speaking in an entertaining
Right,
fashion.
agreed. Very much agreed. That's why I usually say something when I need 3 minutes to think.
What's your opinion on Kasuf then?
Oh, he said in an entertaining fashion.
I like him.
Well, some think he's entertaining.
Yeah.
No, I liked some of it, but partially it was just.
I like him.
He repeated himself.
I like him as a person.
You just can't repeat yourself.
He's repeating
the whole
himself.
time.
I find that problematic.
Like, he is a really nice guy. It's just
Probably is, but he.
I'm glad he's not there right now, because we'd still be on the second hand.
I mean, yeah, I really like him, but I don't like the whenever a conversation of should we do table talk or should table talk not be a huge factor, Kasuf's name is on the side of table talking. I don't like him being the spokesperson. You know?
No, sure.
Yeah, definitely. He was not the. We should say Daniel.
Yeah,
like
for
that
sure.
would be the like prime example
he's
of like a very talkative, positively talkative person.
True.
So I think
Or Kevin Hart now. Maybe.
I really enjoy when
Daniel
people
would
are
make the
speaking about the hands. Like if they're in a poker hand, speaking about like
Yeah.
what do you got to flush, it just like adds another layer to it, and it's so much more entertaining to watch.
It's just, I'm just thinking it's hard to incentivize. Like you can't say stuff back. Yeah. If you make this and this many people laugh this much,
Sure down.
because then everyone, it's gonna be bad jokes just like throughout the whole day.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you are just relentless. Just calm down, man.
Yeah.
Stocken consolidates his chip lead at this table.
Don't bluff the Norwegians.
So here's a bit of fun
They
for you
bluff
while you're
themselves
watching the
sometimes.
stream.
Yeah,
Your
you
chance
gotta
to
let
have
them
your say on who has the best hair in poker. Here are our 3 nominees, 2 of whom are sat at our feature table today. Charlie Carroll, Sophia Lovgren, or Igor Kurganov. Who has the best hair? Head to @PokerStars TV and vote now.
I think this is an unfair poll. What about Peter Eichhardt? What about Roberto Romanello? These are people that it's insensitive. That's what I'm saying.
He 3-bet me with 7-8 of spades. I call it King Jack of spades. It came King Jack 5.
What about Patrick Antonius?
Five of spades. And then
Look
4
at
of
that.
spades
That
on the
is
turn.
Igor back
Any
in
shot.
2013, and that is Igor
And it was pretty
today.
easy for me
Look
to
how
call.
well kept he used to be.
Top 2 and a flush draw.
I'm going to vote in this poll.
It's an Omaha hand, I believe. It's usually good when you
I
have
like
an Omaha
it.
hand
It
in
feels so
Hold'em.
much more special when it comes up in Hold'em, where you get like 2 pair and a flush draw.
We'll keep you updated on the scores as the day goes on.
But then if you lose the pot, then it's just like the world has ended.
I had the exact thing that Andrew going. My third hand I played 2 pair and a flush draw. I had to bet fold the river. It's like, what's this?
Someone order food?
I ordered 2
No,
bananas. Have you found a good place to order from yet?
They extended the food
don't give up,
menu
do you?
at the bar.
Oh, really?
They don't.
Yeah, they have a salad bar now.
When I've asked for,
Do you mean the one that they've had the whole time since we've been here?
yeah,
Since
the
we've been
salad.
here, yes. Extended this year versus other years.
You got me very excited there for a couple.
But when I've even asked for a piece of fruit at the table, they said they can't bring you food. The guy just wants to know.
Yeah,
That's a walk.
Oh, they like you more than me.
There.
Oh, sorry.
Cameras are sensitive.
Polluting the environment.
Just trying to get everyone on tilt, you know. I knew what would wind
What do
you
you
up.
think? What would work to incentivize people to talk more?
I really haven't been able to think of a good one apart from maybe the time
I
bank.
have to put you down.
Getting more time banks if you're talking during a hand. And even there's just too many loopholes that can be found.
No, but there's still a line. Like,
That's
if
why
you're talking, it's okay, but if you're like, you know, loud and aggro at someone when they're trying to think,
For sure.
that's worse than nothing by far. So.
I mean, I don't think you need perfect rules.
And
you can just
a lot
go
of
with
people speak
dealer's
different
discretion.
languages, so I think that changes quite a lot as well.
Well, you could do it in a way that it doesn't make other people who aren't talking have it worse by having a system where it's just like the 10 most entertaining people of a tournament get something afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, free Barcelona seats.
Problem is,
Yeah,
if
they
you
get
do
more
it by
Twitter
voting
followers.
or like how that's decided.
cool.
Like, that'll always be very.
They get sponsorship deals.
Yeah.
They get Facebook fan pages.
But that also works.
It's like the Eurovision. How much are you playing?
60, I think.
Okay, that's okay.
Maybe a tiny bit less.
Daniel, what was the restaurant you're ordering from, the vegan one?
Is that a Gibbons from Jack Salter?
It's a limp under the gun.
There you go, that's Daniel.
We call it a Gibbons.
Eichhardt's in on the button. Fabio calls from the small blind,
check
and
from
Christoph
the
Vogelsang checks his options.
So that's what it was going to take to quiet everybody down. A limped multi-way pot. By the way, I'm not complaining that they're talking all this time, because if they weren't, everyone would be saying, well, why don't they say stuff? So good for them. They're keeping themselves entertained. It's a little deep, some of this conversation.
I thought the conversation about how do we get more conversation at the poker table was a bit meta, personally.
Yeah.
Action checked to Jack.
The pre-flop limper.
He bets into this pot of 4,800.
Probably just should be
2,300.
something maybe that doesn't involve added chips or time bank actually, because it's too much interfering with the game itself. Like if it can be some other outer value, like very
like a cookie,
transparent and obvious. These people get on a free roll at the end of the trip, or like a 50-person free roll, 100K or something like that.
Or a hot
in the
dog.
case of the Aria 300K, it's like to have a higher chance of being invited again.
Yeah, I think
that's already
those
it.
More
ones-
people than
Obviously, yeah,
seats.
Once you get to the top of the tournament poker, then it's already incentivized to be chatty and to be
Right.
sociable. But at the lower levels, it's
That's one of the reasons Daniel had such a success in his career.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
he's So,
Definitely.
so charming
Correct.
and talkative. It's very, very good front figure for poker.
Yeah, absolutely.
that kind of hidden run good you don't really think about. Just like running good that you happen to be the kind of person that's super chatty naturally. It's so hard for some people.
But then you can be like the opposite as well and still be a legend, like
Yeah.
Phil Ivey or
It's very hard to have that now, though.
Patrick. It's pretty, doesn't say too much.
I think the only way to do it now is to just have immense kind of like fatal level success. Otherwise, you really do need a personality and behind.
Yeah, but even that doesn't get you that far anymore, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ongu on Twitch says Dr.
Used to be that it
Professor
could be assumed to
Vogelsang
be,
will
like,
get him.
the best. And now it's
Vogelsang
that's
facing
really not possible. Like Federer
a bet
won
from Jack
everything.
Salter, nearly
Still-
pot size here in
Yeah,
the tournament.
everyone's
Like,
like,
yeah, but I think like I'm doing this better. I'm doing
Yeah,
that better.
exactly.
You obviously got lucky, etc.
What do you mean?
That we're talking about like what can be enjoyable presence or something at the table,
Yeah.
being like usually talking. Like it can also be like a legend status or something like that of the
Yeah.
game. And like Phil Ivey used to have that. Like he was just the guy. Like he doesn't need to say anything, but still like just his presence at the table because he's the best is just quite strong. And we were just saying that this is pretty hard to
This way?
redo nowadays.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like that was built up also because he was
Nah,
assumed to be the best.
Even so, like Negreanu to some people, or like
Yeah, Negreanu, but he's also still like just charming and talkative. Like the question is how to get there without the talking, you know?
well, just win everything. Like Federer has that
Yeah, but
to a huge
even,
extent
right,
now.
but even that I think doesn't put him at to the
Not
status
Ivy
that
level.
Ivy could have
Yeah.
or used to have.
Well, yeah, it depends on like the people you talk to, right? I mean, it's I don't think Ivy had like such a high status among maybe like
No, it was
very
very
good
presence.
among like the younger players.
There's no one
or
that
the
people
good
would
young
want to go and
players.
get their sunglasses more than for Phil Ivey. I mean.
Or
Maybe
2010
Peter Holt.
for sure.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you like having him on your left would have been worse than anyone, right? If you.
In your assumption at least.
No, I wasn't saying me personally, but just.
Yeah.
It used to be like Messi, Lionel Messi of poker. And now there are too many Messis around.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Ronaldo.
Pass.
Button raise here from Fabio.
Ronaldo calls.
The bird.
Well, his nemesis Preben Stocken's already folded.
Ace 5-4 with 2 clubs.
Is there anyone that you think that you'd meet that you'd be starstruck from meeting?
Struck. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, still. Someone that if I
But
met,
like
I
you
would
just
be
feel
like,
really nervous. You mean like if you went,
Elon Musk?
if they were.
Yeah, I would definitely be starstruck.
However you'd react to starstruck.
I know Liv was a bit. She met him and she was like,
Oh, she did?
hi. Just she was at the Gigafactory opening.
Awesome.
I mean, everything's relative, right? You could be a bit nervous around people who are well known or something, but
Yeah,
starstruck
it-
seems
it's-
like a big.
It's
comment.
obviously not binary, but
Yeah.
I feel like you just get to define what starstruck means. For
Yeah. Well, I really wanted to play
obviously
with
not
Ronaldo when he was here
binary.
last year or whatever it was.
Really?
The big, the fat Ronaldo. The old school Ronaldo.
I feel like he could have sat down and I wouldn't have recognized him.
But you're not into football at all. I'm not really anymore, and there's no other football player like that. But that guy is maybe like the greatest ever.
Yeah, I have an amazing hand with him on YouTube. It was in the charity event we played, and him, me.
I just type in Ronaldo Eagle.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
sick, even that to be in the title.
You'd
with
think if
Ronaldo.
somebody was your
Obviously,
idol
there's
and
a
you'd
lot
be
of YouTube,
starstruck
but
from meeting
it's
them,
a
you
different
wouldn't
level.
call them fat, whatever their name is.
How'd that go?
I don't remember the exact details. It was, I wanted out. Like I was drinking